This is the lovely, lovely place that we stayed for 2 days before Zanzibar and then one more night on our way back here. And with sadness, I'm saying goodbye to Dar es Salaam. It's just a fascinating and lovely place, and I always had this kind of romantic idea about it. Just the name even sounds wonderful, and I have loved my time here and in Zanzibar so much. Just arrived at Mikumi National Park. It's attached to Selous National Park, and look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening sky as we're going towards our campsite.
Now in Mikumi National Park, which is adjacent to Selous. We're not going into Selous because it's a hunting reserve essentially, and the roads aren't too good. This is a beautiful little park. We saw lion last night as we came in, and we heard them all night. And we're going a little drive to see hippo and wildebeest, and so we're looking for that lion. But it's a beautiful little park at the bottom end of Tanzania.
Mikumi.
Mikumi is part of the Selous National Park, which is the largest tract of wilderness in Africa, spreading 47,000 square kilometers. The Selous is named after Frederick Courtenay Selous, that great hunter in the late 19th century. He was friends of Theodore Roosevelt, who eventually was the American president, and Cecil John Rhodes, and headed the pioneer column in 1890 into what was then Mashonaland. And he was the guide and the tracker that enabled that column to go through Matabele country into the Shona country. But apart from being a great hunter, he also became a great conservationist. Realizing that game was getting scarce in southern Africa, started taking steps to preserve it, and eventually his studies on the plants and animals earned him the award of a Fellow of the Royal Geographical Society. He was known throughout southern Africa as a tour guide, and probably as the sort of first person who began the safari operations, taking people to see the wild animals of Africa. Towards the end of his life, joined the First World War, the British Army, the British forces in East Africa, and was at 64 years old and was awarded a DSO, and then was shot in the head by a sniper in 1917, and his body is buried in the Selous Game Reserve. He gives his name not only to this vast game reserve, but also to various plants and animals, and also his name was used by the special forces in the Rhodesian War, the Selous Scouts.
It's lovely and quiet at the moment. Other travellers have had to go back, but our camp is very close to here. Beautiful. And there it goes, down behind the mountain.
We just want to catch you up on our trip so far. We came out of Uganda, went down the side of Lake Victoria, stopped at Kisimu, then hit the migration in the Masai Mara, and then we went inland to Nakuru, which is beautiful, then up into the mountains to Aberdare, and eventually to Amboseli, where we had a bit of a breakdown front end collapse. Then we went Sava West, Sava East, spent a few days at Malindi on the coast, and we came down through Mombasa, Tanga, Bagamoyo, Dar es Salaam, spent a few days there, and went on to Zanzibar Island and spent a couple of days. We've now gone from Dar es Salaam to Mikumi on the side of Selous. It's part of the Selous Game Reserve. Today we are going to Ruhaha, and then we'll move right through Mbeya into Malawi, and then we start the homeward bound through Malawi and Mozambique.